What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Post Rolls podcast, the greatest jiu-jitsu entertainment podcast in all of Escondido, California. Today, we have a special guest, Rick Ellis from The Art of Skill. We're going to answer some questions and do some black belt reacts. We're going to settle the greatest of all time jiu-jitsu competitors. We have an 8-man bracket. We're going to do a hypothetical bracket, and they win or lose based on our votes and our debate. And guys, if this seems like the type of stuff you're into, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. All right, that being said, let's get into the show. Welcome to Post Rolls.
Kidding me? You can't Niba?
So you pretty much flow with the goal.
I come to the right place then.
Post Rolls Jiu-Jitsu Podcast.
All right. This is the Post Rolls Jiu-Jitsu Entertainment Podcast. Best one in Escondido, huh?
I figured that was a safe...
There's a lot of them out there in Escondido, but we're taking over. We're going to the top. We got the official Rick Ellis in the house.
I'm here.
Thanks.
I am here.
Nice
Yeah,
to have
thanks
you
for
here.
coming, man. Yeah.
My pleasure, man.
So you didn't you trained today. We all didn't train together.
We didn't train together.
broke
I did.
the Post Rolls tradition.
I went over to my normal stomping grounds at the Clark Gracie Academy, and
What was it like today? How many people you got in that room?
probably 30, 35.
That's awesome.
Something like
Oh,
that.
nice.
Yeah.
San Diego. I know the rest of the world's like, what? You guys just do this all the time with massive groups of people?
And with the rolling doors open, the nice California fresh air.
It's my dream to have... I really wanted to make it happen on this gym, but I couldn't because of Escondido zoning. But it is my dream to have a gym with rolling doors.
Yeah.
It's the best to
Yeah.
roll with fresh air, you know?
Yeah.
And plus, you know, like,
The sunlight.
staph infections are less common.
Yeah.
You think so? They think the blue basement was just a cesspool?
I had some
growing?
friends that were like, "Do you want to?" When we were in New York, they were like, "Do you want to go train in the Blue Basement?" I was like, "Not really, dude. Danaher's not there anymore, and I don't want to just go and get staff and not get Danaher."
Oh, staff and no Danaher is no good.
Okay, before we no, actually, I'll wait. I'll leave that to the end. You want to do black belt reacts first, or you want to get right
That's
into our bracket?
Let's do a couple of reacts. How about that?
Okay, you send them to me.
So these are some Instagram posts that are ridiculous that
Yeah.
people are watching and enjoying on Instagram, and we can get your opinion.
You got your phone on you, Rick?
Yeah.
I will. I'll edit all this thinking out, talking. If you, I'll send it to your Instagram, and then we can just start the video at the same time.
Okay.
So we can both watch it.
Okay.
And you got to tell us about the grapplers retreat.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
I'm gonna try to not see this, not watch it ahead of time.
Why is it wanting to put me into Facebook? Shut up, people. Here we go. Real. All right. I'm ready.
Big Dojo,
Dojo.
Oh, those are always good.
ready?
Yeah,
And
go.
Oh, darn it, I wanted
That's
to
what I'm
begin.
talking about.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay.
Into the backbreaker.
That'll work. That'll work. I mean, oh, he lifts up.
I mean,
How is his uke alive? Lifts him and throws him by his nuts.
So why I like this one is that I felt like it was kind of legit.
kind of, so in my lineage, Roy Harris is my jiu-jitsu grandfather. Mm-hmm. And he teaches nipple bites.
Oh, God.
And all the stuff that in a self-defense scenario,
You got to be kidding me.
it's whatever it takes.
Dude,
Whatever it takes.
Getting my nipples cut, like sliced off,
Yeah.
is one of my, like, I have a phobia of it. It's one of my most uncomfortable
Full disclosure,
thoughts.
because we're going deep on this podcast
Okay.
and nothing's off limits.
Right.
I have shaved my chest before and accidentally nicked my nipples.
Oh, I have too. And dude,
It's horrible.
It's the worst
It's the
thing.
worst. It's the worst.
you know what I do? I put one finger over my nipple and then I shave around.
Yes. Of course. Of course. There's a technique.
So for the viewers at home, if your testosterone is low, then your nipples
Shave
get
your nipples?
exceptionally sensitive, apparently.
All right, moving on. I sent you one more. We got, I think,
All right. So
3
yeah, that
or
was
4 to
legit.
get through.
100% legit.
A legit move.
Dude, that would work just because of the sheer, like, I give up factor. Like, whatever you want to do to me, once you
I
grab my
mean-
nuts, like, that's over.
Could you grab pants like that in jiu-jitsu in a tournament? Could you
In the
grab like the
crotch?
side of the pants? Like you could
That's
just
a good question.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, you can grab the
crotch
back of the
pants?
pants. That happens all the time. People are pulling, showing the butt crack
Yeah,
What if
yeah.
you reached
Yeah.
under and grabbed the back of the pants from underneath?
from underneath. I mean,
Give him a wedgie, like a ball sack wedgie. All right, moving on. You ready?
Yeah, go.
Did I send this one?
You did.
We don't have to watch the whole thing.
Oh.
You get the gist of it, I think, right away. But I do like the headbutt. Yeah, baby, get it.
Line that headbutt up.
Line it up.
Oh, yeah.
Take that.
This is too long. I don't want to watch.
No, we're not going to watch all this. We don't have to. It's all the
Hold on,
same.
breaks
hold on.
over again.
She's warming up. She's warming up. She's going to get to the big stuff.
Remember when we all did that as kids and you'd break sticks over your knee?
Yeah.
Okay, we've seen enough.
Is that enough? Okay.
But, the scream. So I can see why that is enjoyable because she gets to just powerfully scream.
Yeah,
in
the
between.
ki. So I did
Yeah.
Japanese jiu-jitsu, and the ki, when you slap the mat, when you hit the ground, and everyone develops kind of there, however you express it. And that's common. You're focusing your energy.
Yeah.
Of course, those little balsa boards take about half a pound of pressure to break. So it's like
I've seen them accidentally break when they're setting them up. They're
yes,
like, crack.
yes,
Like, oh, man.
yes. Or the guy that's holding the two pieces together, he just kind
He
of
snaps them.
releases, kind of snaps them. Yeah.
I mean, there is something to be said about the ki, though, right? Because, I mean, in your vein, it's a good way to be able to breathe and tense at the same time, which
Yeah.
usually those two things are difficult to
Or
do.
someone's trying to punch you, or you're
Yeah. Just like,
pressurizing.
in Muay Thai, they have a quieter version. They do like,
right.
they have their own little noise. I can't do it.
Exhale or-
Yeah. But it's effective. But
Well, I just thought that was funny to let's talk about the positive of this gal with the obviously zero self-defense skills.
because everyone knows how many times you need to break things over your knee in a self-defense situation. Like if you're
But,
Bane fighting Batman.
the thing is, I think most people that train at these schools, they legitimately think they're learning a martial art that's going to help them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times the instructors, they drink their own Kool-Aid too. They think that this is this deadly thing and we're doing all this stuff. And
I would say there's an even amount. My guess is that there's an even amount of like lying charlatans and then people who actually think that.
My old Japanese jiu-jitsu instructor, amazing guy. I love that guy. Very skilled. Like his ability to take, his break falls, his ukemi was world class. I mean, you could throw this guy, hurl this guy. He was like a cat. He always landed perfect. Like a lot of things he did beautifully well. His, understanding of mechanics and technique was great. But we didn't spar in that environment.
Yeah.
And you develop this kind of fantasy about your own effectiveness, and it's just assumed if your belt is darker than my belt, then you're way more of a badass than I am.
Right.
Even though you look like you haven't done a push-up in 30 years.
Yeah.
And way more egos in those rooms too. Way
Really?
more egos than in jiu-jitsu.
Because they're not ever
They're not
get checked.
tested. You never get tested.
Yeah.
Your ego's never smashed the way that we have to smash it. And I had a conversation with my old coach. He found out I was doing Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and he called me one day. He's like, "Hey, I hear you're doing that sport shit, And his
Not
position,
the ball grab death
Right.
eye gouges. You mean? Okay.
and he legitimately, would say stuff like, "Well, we can't spar in this art because it's too dangerous.
Right.
We are,
No.
these are deadly techniques that have been passed down to us, and we have to treat them with care because it's a lot of responsibility. You could really hurt somebody." And, in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, that's just a sport. You're getting a good workout, but it's just a sport.
I had a crazy guy walk into the gym. I often get crazy people walk into the gym and tell me their martial arts past, And this guy was talking about, I'm in, I did Japanese jiu-jitsu, which is, it's pretty much the same thing. And I'm like, no, it isn't. But and they're like, he's like, but we tear limbs off. He's like, you guys, you try to hurt people, you try to, like dislocate their shoulders. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, no, we don't. Yeah. And he's like, but we try to like tear arms off. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I'm
wow.
like, how do you have training partners left?
They're all done.
Who's alive?
Right.
No, that's such an interesting point you brought up, though, that just doing martial arts in general, thinking about fighting and getting a great workout in gives you an ego. Like you feel good. You're
Totally.
like, you feel
Totally.
powerful.
Totally.
And I never thought about the fact that if you don't spar, if you have the things that build you up, but you don't have the other half of it, that your ego would just. There's no way your ego wouldn't get out of control.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot. Like, some of the least capable rooms have the biggest egos.
Mick Dojo's
and
really
some of
taught
it
us that.
is sort of their own fear. Like they have to, pretend that, because I remember one of the students, one of my training partners at that school, one night asked the instructor, he said, "How do we know if this stuff really works?"
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And he couldn't.
Trust me, bro.
Yeah, that's what it came down to. He gave a long explanation about the history and samurais and all this kind of stuff, but until you test it, you don't know. And I thought the day that I walked into a jiu-jitsu environment, bunch of white belts, we had no instructor. It was just a bunch of white belts on a Thursday night at a Taekwondo school.
Oh, fun.
And I walked in there thinking, I'm going to be one of the better guys in this room instantly. I know what I'm doing. And I walked in there and got tooled, almost threw up, went to the bathroom and looking at the toilet thinking, hold it down, Rick. and I was like, my Japanese jiu-jitsu didn't help me at all. And it was a lot of the
Really?
same shit that we learned, right? Arm bars, chokes, lots and
But
lots
it's
of
not
judo
practiced
throws.
live?
But you never did it live.
Never did it live.
Yeah.
Oh, I had
Never
no
did it
idea.
live.
I figured.
I think I remember 2 times when we did some randori for like 10 minutes. And it was like, okay, 2 people are in, we're going to watch. And then 2 people in, for like 2 minutes each.
Oh, wow.
And I remember those 2 times looking at this, and this looks like nothing that we're training. All of a
They're
sudden,
not doing the techniques
they're not doing anything that
Yeah.
looks even remotely like what they're just pulling and pushing and like aggression and that kind of stuff.
Hey, just I know it's slightly less comfortable, but just because of our lighting camera situation, I can tell right now like your face is pretty dark because the So as much as you can like not, right there is good, but
Okay.
as you get turned more towards us, then you're a little bit more dark.
I don't want to look at you guys anyway.
You could put one leg on this side if you want to go kind of
That sounds dangerous, Miles.
My leg locks have gotten pretty good.
All right, we got one more.
Oh,
This
one
one has
more,
a
let's
gun
do
in it though, so I'm wondering what this is going to be.
Oh, this one was actually cool.
Yeah, really?
I think so.
Okay.
Hit it.
Oh wait, I didn't send it to Rick yet. Okay, I'm going to be doing some editing for this episode.
You got a guy, don't you?
That's true. Fernando's going to be doing some editing.
Respect.
All right.
Shout out
Ready?
to Fernando.
Ready and go.
Oh, this is super
Oh, I
cool.
love this stuff.
Told you.
Bang, bang, bang. Oh, wow, that's cool. I've been wanting to do this in the gym.
Yeah.
So what's happening, they're kind of like in a CJI type pit.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
a grappling
Oh,
match,
so
but there's
I
a
guess-
gun on the floor.
I guess it's whoever can get to the gun first
Basically.
and use the gun.
But what does the grappling have to do with it? Because it's kind of just like a race to the gun.
Right.
Well,
And this guy baramboloed against a gun. Surprisingly, that one didn't work.
I love how
And they're in suits,
too.
which is cool. They make suits. I don't know if that company's still around, but they used to sponsor Stephen Thompson.
No way.
Where it was like
A gi suit?
No. They were suits, but they were stretchy, so they were made that if you needed to get in a fight in your suit, you could.
Yeah.
They were like decent looking suits, but they just had they wouldn't rip. And there was like a fake fight scene with Stephen Thompson and GSP, and they were like in a suit in an office, and they were like slamming each other through chairs and stuff. I'm guessing that's what they're wearing because those suits would rip quite a lot.
I mean, I think some reality training's good. In a stairwell or in a whatever, you're like, okay, here's the, everything's sort of, you're setting rules of engagement. It's not a real fight.
Yeah. Have you seen the World Championships of self-defense or self-defense World Championships?
No.
There's a pretty popular. He's a karate guy. Was a high-level competitor in karate, and he has a popular YouTube channel, and he teaches mostly self-defense, but he has where it's just like that, where he puts people in self-defense scenarios. Like, all right, they're on a matted area, but there'll be like a bench. Like, all right, you're at a park bench, and this guy's going to mug you, and then they have different and they wear like helmets with like plastic, so like that's
Bash
pretty
each
relatively
other.
safe. Yeah, and so they have different martial arts styles. And actually, Jordan Teaches Jiu-Jitsu was on there.
Oh,
And
was he?
They had a knife challenge, and so it was like different martial arts getting in a knife fight.
Yeah.
And they had paint on the knife, so you could see
nice.
where you got stabbed, and basically you had to make it to the end of the round without taking what they would consider a fatal wound, you know. So if you got, you know, femoral arteries, carotid arteries, face shots, obviously, you know. If you got nicks on your arms and stuff, you'd be good. But if the judges was like, oh, that's a fatal area, you know, like it was over. And actually, Jordan won 1 or 2 of his rounds by pulling guard.
Really?
Because he was like, for one, I'm going to try something different, because all these other styles were just getting, you know, they were trying to get in fist fights and they would just get knifed, you know?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to try something different. And also, like, it kind of makes sense because I can keep most of my vital organs far from the knife. And he pulled guard and just kind of like kicked the shit out of the guy's hands and kicked the knife away, and then he made it.
Yeah.
The second round, he did get knifed like right across his thigh, so he died.
And that just goes to show, you know, people are so kind of rigid in their thinking. They're like,
Sorry, guys.
you know, guard in a street fight,
Yeah.
that'll never work. You know, inverting in a street fight will never work. Well, everything is context dependent.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, if you
yeah.
have a great inversion game and there's a moment there and that's the right move in that moment, why can't it work? Of course
Yeah,
it can
yeah.
work.
That was a bold statement.
And to your,
I mean, right?
I think you're 100% right, because
It's not
you
that
have to
it's
read
not
the
that you
moment.
go. It's right. It's you're reading the moment. It's not that you're going into it with a game plan. Oh, I'm going to bear and bowl this guy. But if that's a big part of your game, and you're in this tussle with this person, and you can do the thing that you can do against people with skill,
Yeah.
all the time. This guy probably doesn't have that kind of skill. You're going to
Yeah.
probably be successful with it.
People underestimate how unintuitive grappling is and how bad the average person
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
So
Terrible.
unfathomably bad. Yeah. We were talking about this last week, where the weakness that other martial arts or that striking martial arts have, to your point about Japanese jiu-jitsu, is that they don't spar.
Yeah.
And they can't safely spar.
Yeah.
So it's like, is the art of grappling the perfect situation? Like, no, but the thing is like, I've been in more fights than you have, period.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we do it every day, you know?
Well, and that's the whole sport versus self-defense. Now, it's my contention, and your guy, David Camarillo, I heard him one time say sport jiu-jitsu is self-defense jiu-jitsu. And I would agree with that, because you're rolling around with people who are trying to strangle you. They're trying to dominate you physically. They're trying to snap a limb. Of course, you're training your body to be able to operate within that chaos.
Yeah, yeah, totally,
You know, and
totally.
that's what's probably going to determine how successful you'll be in a self-defense situation versus whether you have these, you know, technical sequences that you think are going to be real effective. No, it's the mat time that you've put in that's
Yeah.
going to determine effectiveness, not
Right.
having the technique that you've never sparred with.
Yeah, right.
You got to
yeah.
be Boss Rutan style, and whatever is around you, looky what we have here.
Yeah.
And smash
Smash,
his
smash.
face.
That was another thing Jordan teaches jiu-jitsu was saying, was that he was like, my hot take is that sport jiu-jitsu gyms are actually better for self-defense, because most self-defense gyms are doing very limited sparring, very limited like resistance training, and you just can't get good at anything without training against resistance, you know?
Yeah, go look at the whole self-defense curriculum that's taught, the Gracie self-defense, all that stuff. That was a huge part of the Japanese jiu-jitsu that I did. All that kind of stuff. Grab my wrist. There's 10 different ways to break wrist grabs, elbow grabs, like all that fundamental stuff.
Yeah,
Frankenstein choke, body locks, like, all that stuff. We trained all that stuff. But against resistance, you're never going to be. There's nuance, right? There's so much nuance. The timing, the
100%.
positioning,
Timing,
the angles, the reaction, all that stuff is honed
And
for
the
a different process.
comfortability in that intense moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I heard the greatest thing the other day. We were talking about the choking. Somebody was talking about teaching how to defend against the Frankenstein choke.
Yeah.
And they said, and this wasn't a jiu-jitsu person. This was, they were teaching in a different capacity, and they were, as far as I know, a good instructor for a lot of things. And they said that one of my favorites is if you get backed up against the wall by somebody Frankenstein choking you, you kick your foot off of the wall against them, and then that'll snap them off of you.
Yeah.
And I was like,
What?
I'm like, you'll push your neck into their choke harder?
right.
Like, what? And yeah, it's funny how some things are not intuitive.
Yeah.
But
And you take an average blue belt that's been rolling on the ground forever, or for a couple of years, and he's never dealt with the Frankenstein choke. Put a Frankenstein. He's probably going to intuit a better way. He's
Yeah.
going to just naturally be able to deal with that.
that's what I think too.
If you took a blue belt and you just like grabbed their neck with two hands, right? If people don't know, that's what we're talking about when we say Frankenstein choke.
Yeah.
2 hands out and just hold their neck. and just told a blue belt, like, you have 3 seconds, figure it out.
Yeah.
They could do it.
They could do it.
Almost 100% of the time. You know?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to do this super fight bracket?
Yeah, let's go.
I'm excited for this one.
Tell
So I'll
the
put
people.
some graphics up on screen. But so we have 8, not before anyone gets upset, this is not like hands down the 8 greatest grapplers ever. It was the 8 greatest grapplers that we felt, 1, would be fun to talk about, 2, everyone would know who they are. And I had a third criteria to meet when I was doing this last night, but I can't remember what it is. So whatever.
Is there weight classes involved?
Okay, no. So the way we're going to do this is every competitor is going to be judged by their height, the height of their career, not like now.
Okay,
you know,
okay.
when they were at
This
their
is
best versus the other person at their
Right,
best.
prime.
And yeah, and weight is not a factor in this universe that we are living
So they're
in.
all the same weight.
Yeah. All the same
whoa.
weight, but they have the same. They say like weight just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you know, like they have the same game, but it's just strength is not an issue in this. It's just purely their game versus the other person's game.
yeah.
Because otherwise, I was going to be very limited on who I chose. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Okay. So I have a seed here. Okay. So first match. Okay, so this is we have 4 matches. This is 8-guy bracket. 4 match, top left, bottom left, top right, bottom right. Okay.
And so tell the people what we're going to do. There's
Oh,
3
yeah,
of
yeah.
us.
Yeah,
We're going to vote on whoever 2 of us vote on, they go through.
Yeah, so we're gonna present a match. We'll have like a minute or two to kind of debate who and why we think will win, and maybe present our case to other people, and then we'll take a vote on who wins, and whatever competitor gets 2 votes, they won the match and they move on in the bracket.
This is fun.
Cool. So
So
it's
we
gonna
can
be
do
a
this for
tournament.
MMA too. That'll be
Okay.
exciting.
Yeah, we do. I want to do a pride one. I want to sit and watch pride and then do a pride one because I've never seen a pride fight before.
All my guys would be in. If we did an MMA one, they'd all be Pride guys that I pushed through.
Okay. Up first. Oh, I put a wild card in here too. So up first, we have our top seed versus what I just kind of deemed as the bottom seed. So we have Gordon Ryan. This is fun. Gordon Ryan versus Rafa Mendez.
Whoa,
That's
okay.
our top.
Are you going
left.
to read them all real quick? So we
Okay,
can
yeah,
think about
sure. Okay, so the competitors are Gordon Ryan, Roger Gracie, Andre Galvao, Marcelo Garcia, Buchecha, Rafa Mendez, Leandro Lowe, and Mikey Musumeci.
them? Whoa, okay.
Okay.
That's a good 8, right?
Okay.
I know all those
Anybody you
guys.
think that I missed? Anybody you think that
I'm probably Torere.
I don't know who that is.
Oh my God, you're too young. Can't revoke this guy's jiu-jitsu
you know
license.
what? I've had this exact conversation with another black belt who was a little older than me, but she said the same thing. She's like, you know what that is? She's like, yeah, you're before your time, I
Insanely
guess.
good. His career was kind of diminished because kind of when he was at his peak, he ended up kind of abandoning jiu-jitsu for a while, had drug problems, had all these issues, mental health issues. And so he was out of commission for a few years.
Yeah.
And then he came back and he was no longer in his prime. But this guy,
How do you spell his name?
Terere, T-E-R-E-R-E.
I only know of his legend.
T-E-R-E-R-E.
Oh, the
Speaking of legend.
yeah, Helio Gracie's upset that he wasn't included in this list.
Yeah, I know of a few people that would say that he's the greatest ever in their opinion.
Yeah.
Oh, better than Hickson? Why isn't Hickson in there? It's messed up.
Oh, I didn't. Well, Hickson, I don't think ever did jiu-jitsu competitions, did he? He only
I
did
think
fights.
He did, but
he
yeah, it's a
did.
long time
Supposedly
ago.
he did 400 of them, but where are the videos and where are the...
Like pure, like sport jiu-jitsu?
No, he never said he did 400.
I thought he had 400
Yeah, it was
fights.
400 fights.
Yeah.
Well,
But he just-
but a lot of those were jiu-jitsu fights.
But
They
yeah,
weren't-
I mean,
they
didn't,
weren't all.
They didn't count him up. That was like, how many have you done? He's like, I don't know a lot. Well, how many?
Yeah,
And like 400.
Right.
Whatever.
And he never lost.
But his,
I mean, definitely the legend around him was undefeated in 400 fights. That's
Right.
That was like their marketing. You know, that's how they build him. Undefeated
but
in
I
400 fights.
but Helson, his brother, he was champion. He was a jiu-jitsu competition champion for 20 years. His
Really?
nickname was Champion. Yeah. So for
And
20 years.
you know who else you've missed from that list? I mean, there's a ton of guys.
There's
you
tons.
could-
Yeah, yeah.
That would easily qualify.
people
but
are so mad right now. They're yelling in their cars.
Bruno
listening to
Malfacine.
this. Oh, okay.
You know who that is?
I know
Yeah.
of the legend.
I had to stick to people
Yeah.
that we could actually have a conversation about.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So like even if it was people where I thought maybe I knew their name, but I've never
he's
seen
like
their matches.
He's like
you know
a
what I mean?
nine-time, 10-time world champion. Incredible.
So keep in mind, Nick is, although he looks in his 20s, he is in his 30s, and so he doesn't know the jiu-jitsu history like you and I would.
I think that's back.
It was a compliment.
But
Was
anyway,
it? I don't know.
continue. We'll go with your guys.
Okay, first match is Gordon Ryan versus Rafa Mendes.
If the
Same size.
if the physical attributes were equalized.
Yeah.
Man.
That's an interesting matchup.
Oh, also, I have not decided on this yet. So let's decide now. Are these gi matches or are they no gi matches? Everyone in here except for, everyone in here has no gi accolades almost equal to the gi accolades. So we could do either, except for Gordon.
Right.
If we put this in the gi, then Gordon is probably not even in this list anymore.
Right, for sure.
What do you think? What should we do?
It can be no gi.
Okay, no game.
Okay.
It can be no gi.
No gi's cooler, anyways.
Oh, what?
But I think
All right.
I think Rafa, his whole Baron game and all that stuff. I think that's more gi.
Yeah, but he was still several time ADCC champion.
Yeah, that's true.
His top
Yeah, he was the
passing
man
was-
for a while. He was just unstoppable.
Oh man, I think he's got 4 world championships. Right? I don't know that people are going to yell at the screen. I know that there's. I think he has 4 world championships.
Yeah.
2 ADCC championships, gold medals. Dude, he was amazing, and he had like in ADCC, like he would get takedowns and stuff. He had like a nice arm drag to trip and things like that. Let me pull up his stats.
Especially if he was the same size as Gordon.
Yeah.
that would have been trouble.
Yeah, it would obviously change his style, but we're not operating in like a realistic universe right now.
Yeah, but Gordon Ryan's style would change if he was a small guy.
Right. Yeah.
Oh.
All right.
So are you voting already?
What's your? So I feel like I would make the case that Rafa would win because, I would say in terms of technique ability, they're like takedown benefit. Okay, so ADCC World Championships, he has 2 golds and a silver,
Okay.
and he has oh my goodness, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 World Championships in the gi. I don't know how many of those are black belt or not. Though it doesn't.
What weight?
Doesn't specify. Teeny tiny, under 70 kilos.
Oh, see.
So that's is that 155 pounds?
150 pounds. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think those divisions are a bit smaller too. Could I be wrong?
You mean like in terms of like the talent pool is less
Yeah,
deep?
yeah.
It's not less deep than the ultra heavyweight division for sure.
that's true.
That's
That's true.
the shallowest division. You know.
Fair enough. I don't want Gordon Ryan to lose in the first round.
Me neither.
Yeah,
but
right.
in my head, because I seeded them, so in my head I put probably what like most fanboys would call the favorite versus like the least favorite.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think
It's so good.
I think their takedown ability is close, and man, Rafa's passing.
See, I think it
It's
depends.
amazing.
So
Amazing.
here's what I think it depends on whether are we scaling Rafa up to big man size or are we scaling Gordon down? Because if we scale Gordon down, I think Rafa has an advantage.
Yeah.
If we scale Rafa up, I think Gordon has.
Well, because he has
Very technical.
a game
Yeah,
that's
I
better
agree.
suited for that body style. But
Right.
what I'm proposing that we accept is that they're not different sizes. It's just the fact that size does not matter in this universe.
Oh, I don't think you can do
So
that.
they still have the same body type.
Do they have the same games that they play?
They have the same game. They have the same body type that they currently have. But like weight and strength is not a factor in
And
these
they can
imaginary
they can
matches.
express their game perfectly. Like Rafa can do all the small man stuff,
Right.
even though he's going against. Well, I'll give it to Rafa then.
You can't.
I would too.
You
I
can't
would
do
too.
this. You can't do this. You can't. Hold on. You can't.
All the listeners just dropped out.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. I'm the Destroyer podcast.
You can't do this because their game is built around their size. This just has to be an absolute.
No, but then it changes everything.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's not. It's their game is built around their size. That's what I'm saying is that it's that equal. So like imagine, it's like as if Rafa was fighting a small Gordon, but Gordon was fighting a large Rafa. It's like Like the size and strength just does not apply in this like non-physical hypothetical universe.
I hate this universe already. This is crazy.
Just because Gordon's out.
No,
Honestly, I planned that. I thought because I tried to not think of any answers when I made this, and I tried to just pair favorites and just seed it, and my thinking was like, all right, Gordon's seed 1, because that's why you have seeds, so that the favorite doesn't get knocked out. But then as soon as I posed the question, I was like, oh shit, actually.
But I think your size is too involved in your game. So like it should be an absolute.
Yeah, your game is a reflection of what you can do physically, of course.
Right. So there's no heavyweight Hafas.
Which is why I have no game, because I can do nothing physically.
There's no heavyweight Hafas, of course, but there's no lightweight Gordons either, though. So you're just favoring the big guys.
I mean, that's
the only fair way to do it. That's the only fair way to do it.
Yeah, that's how life goes.
But this isn't
I mean,
life.
these are
matters.
vastly different styles of game. One is super dynamic passing, a lot of grips, a lot of inversions, a lot of craziness.
Yeah.
His back takes are crazy. Hafa, he does these crazy
insane.
sort of
So fun.
leaping
Insane.
back takes that are so incredible. And Gordon Ryan's a little slower, he's a big guy. He's constrained by that. So yeah, it's a hard hypothetical. I think
it is.
I think they're too extreme in a way.
But so but what I'm like proposing is that like we're talking about pound for pound, right? And that's what pound for pound means. Like per pound of body weight you have, how much skill do you have?
Gotcha.
And if you're measuring like on the way that their styles match up, then Hafa's style would win, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty advanced, but I would still go for Gordon. But you got Hafa.
I'm gonna go with Hafa.
2 Hafas.
I'm sorry.
Right.
All right. Gordon's
Sorry,
out.
Gordon.
Hafa moving on.
Love you, bro. But you're out. Been voted off the island.
Man. Little Gordon. Little Gordon's
You've been
out.
voted onto Gorilla Island. You're gonna be one of the 100.
Big Gordon would have done it.
I saw this thing that was like it was like a gorilla looking like, oh shit, and it was like when the gorilla looks at the 100 guys, and it was like 24 Daniel Cormier's, 25 all these best fighters, and then one John Jones with his fingers outstretched.
One oblique kick, one John Jones, and there goes tear the gorilla's knee.
Oh God, that's right.
Okay,
He was so brutal.
up next. Okay, now you're making me doubt. I want to like take these. Now I'm doubting my seeding.
I mean, it's an
ability.
interesting conversation, no matter what.
Yeah.
Okay, so up next. Okay, I'm just gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it the way I had it.
Well, you already started it. Yeah.
It's Andre Galvao and Mikey Musumeci.
Oh my God.
Prime Andre.
Why does that like hurt to even think about that? But a jacked. Now I'm picturing a jacked Musumeci.
Jack
Jack Musumeci.
Wow, that's terrifying.
What if we just say What if we say that everyone are middleweights? We size the big guys down. No,
But he would still be jacked then.
yeah. He'd still, I mean, Andre at his prime was a middleweight or a middle heavy.
180.
Thing is, Andre was never a finisher the way that Mikey is.
Yeah,
Mikey gets the
true.
job done pretty much every time, just about.
Yeah.
Whereas Andre, not that much. He wins on points a lot.
Side note: you ever seen that match? It was the last match before they made people start to prove their ranks at IBJJF, where like some beginner signed up for the Black Belt World Championships, and Andre just break dances on him.
Yeah.
Just to prove a point. Just
Well, he was a black belt in something, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That was, and then ever since then, that was when they changed the rules. Where like, you have to get your black belt signed off on. And you have to,
Oh, that was the begin. That was the catalyst.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
hilarious.
yeah.
So, Andre Galvao has a lot of heart, and he can push through more things than most people can.
Yeah.
And I also work at Autos, so I'm gonna go with Andre Galvao
I
for
also want to throw
sure.
this out there. Is I would say that Andre is one of those people that'd be willing to let Mikey break his knee for a world championship. You know what I mean?
Respect, much respect, Professor.
This to me is the harder one. What do you think?
It's a hard one. Mikey has this really, really sophisticated leg game that he has elevated to a very, very high level. And Andre, I don't think, has a defensive game that could deal with that as effectively as Mikey could implement his game. So if you scaled Mikey up, he was as strong as Andre. I think Mikey's game lends himself to because he always manages to get himself into the finishing position that he needs to be in to get the job done in a way that Andre is more of a top player, guard passer, that kind of thing.
Are you picturing a little 145-pound Andre?
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
Well, but again, if they have time to prepare with their new bodies, then maybe the equation changes.
This is going deep.
No, it's the same game that they always play. They're not allowed to change.
I can't stand these rules.
I'm going to go with Mikey just because his finishing percentage is higher, I think.
Oh man, I wish that you voted for Andre because then my vote wouldn't matter because I have no.
I have to go with Andre. Yeah, Professor
I just
Andre.
so emotionally.
I mean, I love Andre.
invested in Andre.
This is not a slight. He's the man.
Andre's one of my favorite people in
He's
grappling.
the man. Yeah.
Well, it's up to you now, Professor Nick. What are you going to do?
Good one, Nick. Everybody's going to hate you
A
now.
lot of
Has Andre ever
prestige
been-
and money rides
Ever
on your
faced
decision.
any leg lockers except for I know he did that. Who's that one crazy guy that breaks everyone's legs?
Oh, Paul Harris.
Paul Harris. Yeah. But that was not the same like sophistication of
Yeah,
leg
it's not the
locks.
same level. Pretty good, but not the same.
Yeah.
Not
You
the
faced
same.
Gordon.
You'd be lost.
That's true. But he didn't lose to a leg lock.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if we're talking about strength not being a factor, it's interesting.
I knew it.
What I didn't consider the fact is that if strength is not a factor, then I mean, ultimately the little guys they're just better.
Yeah. Right. Which is generally true. I mean, little guys tend to be more technical than the big guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Which is why I mentioned Bruno Malfacini, who's a tiny little 130 pounder, and he's insanely good. He's like the Demetrius Johnson of jiu-jitsu. He's just
Maybe
so
that's the guy.
freaking good.
Remember me telling you there was a guy on there that was like, it was like, and someone was saying like, it was like 10-time world champ. He was like the greatest rooster rate of all time.
Yeah.
And maybe that's who I read.
I mean, it might have been.
yeah.
Yeah,
It had to
it's
be.
probably him.
Yeah.
And you could make a case that he's the pound for pound greatest ever because, I mean, this guy fought in absolutes. He fought in everything. And if you scale that guy up, holy shit.
Yeah.
How did he do in the absolutes?
Pretty well.
Really?
Pretty well.
It's funny because it's kind of the Demetrius Johnson effect because people talk about the greatest fighter of all time. And it's like, John Jones and this and that because he did this. And then it's like DJ, sometimes it's not even in the conversation. You're like, what about DJ? And they're like, well, no.
They don't get as much respect. The little guys, they don't get as much love, not as much respect.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay, well, Mikey's moving on to round 2.
That's a really
Mikey
interesting.
Hoffa would be interesting.
It's going to be Mikey Hoffa.
That's really interesting to think about the fact that lightweights, because they're so much faster and because they have to adapt
hold on,
to
though.
size so much.
I think that like you'd have to, if we're going to take strength out of it, we got to take speed out of it also. It's just purely technique versus technique.
Oh my god! I hate these rules.
Technique and
you know what
timing.
you think of is like a 145-pound Mark Kerr. Like, what would they be good at? Nothing.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If we're
Do you know what I
purely
mean?
basing, if we're purely judging skill, then yeah, I mean like. That's true. I mean, they're good at nothing.
Yeah, I mean, with
They
a
didn't
lot
call
of
them
guys,
the technique machine. They called them wait, that's the smashing machine, right?
Yeah.
The technique machine. They definitely did not. Rock's playing him in the new movie.
Hey, that looks good.
Does it?
Yeah, I
I'm
mean the
super
trailer looks
excited
good.
about it.
Anyways, have you seen that?
No, I haven't seen it.
The Rock is playing. Mark Kerr is.
Yeah. Oh, he's playing him.
Yeah, it's a biopic. Like a.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
It looks really good. And
Awesome.
they did such a good job at making him look like him, and it
he?
seems like they changed his body too because
Really?
he's like shaped like him. He's
Really?
blockier like Mark Kerr was.
No way. I'm so excited.
Yeah, it looks
Do you remember
really
the
good.
Smashing Machine? Do you
Totally,
remember the
of
movie?
course.
Yeah.
Of course.
So good.
Okay, coming up, we've got.
But so the rules that you made, all the lightweights are going to win. Just so you know.
I don't think so. Just wait, because
Okay.
I don't think so because we got Hodger in there, and we have Leandro, and we have some. There's some really
Okay.
technical.
Okay.
And also Marcelo, he's in the middle there.
That's
He's
true.
the middleweight.
All right. That's good. Good call.
Okay, so we have Hodger versus Leandro.
Oh, they fought a bunch of times, didn't they? Hodger always won, I think. I think Leandro caught him one time, like stalemated him.
Yeah, I mean, there's. Hodger was like the one thing that I was like, I have to include him, but unfortunately, he's already beat all of these people.
Yeah.
But if I didn't put him in there, it was like
He didn't beat Gordon.
Then this conversation isn't.
And you guys kicked Gordon out, so there you go.
It's only possible. It's only possible. Rival.
He didn't fight. Did he ever fight Gordon?
I don't
No,
think so.
no.
I don't think so.
Yeah, that'd be worth him coming out of retirement for.
Oh man, that would be fun. I mean, he did it to Buchecha. You remember that? That was so
Oh,
exciting.
dude, that was a clinic.
What did he beat? What time? How long did it take him? 2 minutes? 2.5 minutes? It was short.
It was short. I don't think it was quite that short, but it was short.
I don't know if I misremember it. It might not have played out this way, but I remember it pretty much just being like Hodger just being like, I'm going to do this move, and then I'm going to do this move, and now I'm in mount, and then I'm going to choke you.
Yeah.
And it being like,
He didn't choke him in mount though. He choked him from the back.
oh, okay. I mean,
think-
yeah, it's been a
right.
long time since I've seen
Yeah.
the match, so he mounted him, right? He mounted him, and then took his back.
I don't think he mounted him.
Maybe.
it was
It
like
was
guard. I
fucking
think
this
it was
up.
from guard.
it was a choke in transition.
Oh, well, then I misremembered it entirely.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen that.
I mean, Hodger had that unique. Everyone's going to use whatever attributes you have, and Hodger has that length, but he also has some real interesting ratios. Like his hips are really wide. He's got that base. He can, when he mounts you, it's just, from what I understand, is just crushing. He makes people tap just from sitting on him.
Yeah.
Just by the mechanics, the angles that he can,
he
the
pulls
leverage
up.
he can
Yeah.
generate
Yeah.
there. So,
I think that's going to be eventually, because you're saying the litter guys are going to win. I think that's going to be the great equalizer because he has
yeah.
the game that would potentially take away the little guy attributes.
And
you know?
he's so fundamentally sound.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's not much to vote on there. Hodger versus Leandro.
Hodger.
I do love
Can I tell you
Leandro.
my
It's a
last
bummer.
the last time I rolled with Hodger? The time before he had tapped me with an Ezekiel, which I was like kind of surprised me. And then like 3 weeks ago or whatever, when I rolled with him, he puts on the Ezekiel and I grab it because I'm expecting it. And I'm like, is that all you got? You don't know any other moves? And then eventually he got me with a mounted cross lapel. And I've never been so happy to be like choked out in the classic for some
Classic
reason.
Hodger.
And I even told him like classic. And he like gave me a big smile. I'm like, yep. Oh, nice.
And now we can say that technique really works because he's applied it against Miles Lucas.
Oh, respect. That's right. Respect, sir.
Okay, moving on. I've got. Wait, sorry. So Leandro's done.
Hodger's such a wildly nice guy
Yeah.
too, compared to like, because he's the Michael Jordan of jiu-jitsu, right?
Right.
But he's not. He doesn't have that thing that Michael has. That's like
Little chip, yeah.
Yeah, it seems like he's just hyper competitive. Like Hodger's like a normal, super cool, will laugh at your jokes kind of guy. It's so fun to meet heroes that live up to it.
And jiu-jitsu is one of the only arts, sports that you can do that in. You're not going to go
Totally.
to a basketball camp and be rooming, in the room next door to Kobe.
Right.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, like your heroes are still accessible people.
They're still accessible.
Okay, last up, Marcelo versus Buchecha.
Oh, if you scaled him up. I mean, I have a soft spot. Some of this is emotional. I have a
It's all
soft spot in
emotional.
my heart for Marcelo.
Me too.
Marcelo was my guy. He was my
Yeah.
boy.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me see if I can choose Buchecha, because you guys know I love Marcelo Garcia.
I just don't think Buchecha is quite as technical as Marcelo.
I mean,
Buchecha's
pretty
like a
dang technical.
super athlete to me.
he is super.
He's
athletic.
like with thick thighs, juicy booty, just
But
getting
I
it
mean,
done.
Marcelo's got all those things too, though.
A super athlete.
Not a super athlete, though, with the booty and the thighs.
Oh, respect.
Oh, Marcelo's a super athlete. He could go from laying on his back to being on your back in like 2 seconds.
That's true. He was actually very athletic, and so technical though that like his athleticism probably doesn't even get talked about.
Yeah.
Because it was like overshadowed by his, but he was crazy fast. Actually, now that I think about it, and good take. He had takedowns and stuff too. Has Buchecha ever done anything in no-gi worthwhile?
Oh, I'm sure.
I don't know. I have not watched all that many Buchecha matches.
Me neither. Just kind
The
of
last one I remember is the Hodger one.
The Hodger one. That's the last I remember.
Let me see.
I think he was training with, what?
Oh my goodness, okay. So yeah, Buchecha has 2 ADCC golds and a bronze at his weight class, and then he's got 2 silvers and a bronze in absolute.
So why don't you remember? Maybe because his matches weren't like.
Look at all those golds in the World Championship.
Oh, yeah.
Look, this is like a line of golds. Yeah. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Weird. 15. All right, votes.
I mean, I got to go with Marcel
MG.
Garcia. Yeah.
MG in action.
Okay. It's unanimous.
Sorry, Buchecha. Good work, though. I mean, they've gone to. Can you see their matches? I think Buchecha caught him.
Buchecha has matches against Marcelo?
Yeah. Doesn't he? I feel like
here's what's crazy
like at least
is
a couple.
Probably within about 10 years, AI is going to be so sophisticated that there will not be television or films that directors and actors actually create. It's just made on the fly based on what you're interested in. You're like, I want a story, an epic fantasy, and boom, there it is.
Just at night, you get a brand new one, whatever.
Well, and then we will be able to see these matches. We'll tell the AI we want to scale up Hafa and these guys.
Whoa, that's crazy. Was it? So you find anything? I guess I'm wrong. Now that I think about it.
Nothing came up.
Yeah. No, that would have came up right away. Why am I tripping? Why did I think they had matches?
Yeah.
I got my lineages.
Marcelo
off.
and Buchecha? No, I
Yeah.
don't think they ever did.
Wow.
I think Buchecha's a little younger.
Yeah. At least too young.
Okay, semifinals.
Okay. What do
We got Mikey versus Hafa.
Oh, my God. What do you do?
Boy.
Yeah. Wow. They're both all over the place. They need to be in the CJI pit because they're moving around too much.
I think that's one of those things where if they fight 10 times, there's going to be, Hafa's going to win a bunch and Mikey's going to win a bunch.
Yeah.
I think Mikey has been watching Hafa for a long time. And I think he knows his stuff and he has absorbed it. I think Mikey's an alien, probably. And he's like taking all jiu-jitsu knowledge and.
Yeah, we did say we're going to equalize their physicality. We didn't say how we're going to equalize their autism.
Right.
I feel like both of them are equally good on like the available technique, but like just today's game is just it's all of the knowledge that Hafa had plus more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
that's what I think too.
even if they're at their physical peaks, like I think Mikey's
And that's a good
knowledge just
point
surpasses
because,
it.
the game evolves.
Right.
And the modern game's a little different.
Yeah.
Those relentless leg attacks that even 5 years ago, 8 years ago, guys didn't have to deal with quite that level of intricate precision and craziness. Those leg attacks and all that
And
stuff.
that's why Hickson's not on the list. Respect, Mr. Hickson. I would have voted you through.
Yeah,
I didn't put Hicks on the list because I could not recall of seeing any. Not that it didn't exist, but I have nothing to input on his sport
enough.
jiu-jitsu.
Fair
You know what I
enough.
mean?
And that'd be an interesting. Bring a prime Hickson to the modern era, and he fights Mikey, and I think Mikey takes that too. It's like
In MMA.
Oh my God!
Well, not
Shut
MMA.
this podcast off right
in
now.
a sport jiu-jitsu. I agree. I agree for sure.
I'm out of here. That is crazy. That is the craziest thing I've ever heard. I can't believe you guys would
jiu-jitsu,
say
you
this.
think?
Hickson could, yes, he would adapt. He could. He had a physicality.
He would
and a
learn
mental.
leg locks in the match. During the match.
he would go into the matrix and come out better.
He would do some breath work and then suddenly.
That's right. Him and his brother would go back. I remember he used to do that. Like he would do it with his son. He would do it when Hoxton was live. Like something would happen. He would see it on TV and he'd get Hoxton over and be like, all right, let's figure this out real quick. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
That's funny. Oh, it's gym memberships.
Sorry, oh, it's my landlord.
No, good.
Okay. Being evicted on the podcast.
So, talk about Grappler's Retreat. How did it go? This was the first one you hosted?
Yeah, I've been there twice, and first one I hosted, and man, it's so you've been there. It's so amazing.
It's the best.
They feed you good, really good, and
what did you guys do? A couple of outings? Did you do?
yeah,
Yeah.
the normal stuff. Go to the river, go to the beach, and all that. But I tended to mostly chill out at the compound.
That's the best part about
the
that
best
place.
part.
It's
Yeah.
like you dip into the woods where Alex, the owner, is a hermit, and but just decided to bring all his friends to him.
Yeah.
And then you don't feel like you have to leave. You're there, and you're just amongst the redwoods and eating super good.
Yeah, it's a very unique experience to go to a retreat like that. You're, and beyond, okay, you're training jiu-jitsu in a unique environment. That's great. And how much are you really going to improve your game in 4 days of training? Okay, probably not much. You'll pick up some things and whatever. But the chance to hang out with a bunch of like-minded people that like all the same stuff you do, that are into all that stuff you do, you make such great friends in those environments.
Oh yeah, 100%. The WhatsApp groups that we do, we start, like if I start one, they're still going. They're still going. People are still blasting each other up and keeping it alive. And I kind of disagree with you, because the training that we do there, because you have people for, like, if you say it's like a short retreat, or like if you go to a seminar or something, like when you go to with famous guys and stuff, you might learn a couple of things. Yeah. But I feel like at that retreat, man, you have the same group of people.
Right.
For
no, I'm not
week.
Minimizing that. I'm saying it's just a compressed period. I mean, jiu-jitsu is a long freaking journey.
Yeah, for sure.
To develop real skill takes a long time. So you're in there 4 days with one of your heroes. Yeah. And you get to pick their brain. You get to a deeper glimpse into their game and how they think about jiu-jitsu. And some of it could be revolutionary for people, of course.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I've had some transformational
some insight. Sometimes you just get that insight that changes everything.
Yeah.
And so I'm not minimizing that.
You're right. That could happen anywhere.
I think that's certainly a possibility. But it's the whole experience, and the camaraderie and the friendship and the relaxation and the recharge from your daily life and all that stuff. And
the friendship is wild, because I see people I've been to, I don't know, probably 8 of them or something. And I see people when they first get there and like the awkwardness. Yeah. And what's neat too is in jiu-jitsu, you already have something. You can just kind of get right into jiu-jitsu. But if people don't do jiu-jitsu, man, the awkwardness is
what do you do?
Out of control. But I know by the end of it, like, people are literally going to be hugging and just being super close. And yeah, it's a wonderful way to, to just grow as humans, really, because we don't do that stuff enough, man. I think about it all the time. Adults, you don't make other adult friends close easily.
No, not at all.
There
is something, people that go to war experience the bonding through shared struggle. There's something about shared struggle that will bond people really, really fast and on a deeper level, because you've had this experience together. And that's what jiu-jitsu is. It's nothing but struggle. And you share that with people. You bump fists with this guy. You don't know this guy. That guy's a brain surgeon. You work at the gas station. You have nothing in common, different socioeconomic circles. You'll never be hanging out with this guy under normal circumstances. But then you have this thing that you just did.
I need like 5 minutes.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, take your time.
Take your time, man. We're taking over this thing. Are we still live? Are we still doing it?
We're going.
Yeah.
Are we still going? Yeah, get out of here, Nick.
Post Rolls Podcast, post Nick.
Post Nick.
Make sure those numbers are still running so you know it's recording.
Okay.
Post Nick Podcast. We're taking over. Rick Ellis and Miles Lucas here in the house.
All right. Yeah, we're jamming. Yeah,
that's
a great point.
100%. That shared experience.
Yeah, that struggle. That's funny. That's I kind of forget that. We've been doing jiu-jitsu so long. Sometimes I forget about the benefits because people have already gotten them, and when they get them in the beginning. But that bonding and that difficulty, that's what makes you complete. Yeah. As we're so sedentary and sitting on the couch and not having enough friends. If any of those sound like you, everyone who listens to this podcast does jiu-jitsu, but man, it's such a way to experience life in the fullest, and especially when you get together with a group.
And I'm doing a big event in October.
Yes, sir. Let's talk about it.
If you let me pimp that a little bit.
Yeah, let's go.
Pretty small.
He's being evicted. People.
Close the door. Is that's funny. The landlord of the building is thinking what we're doing in here.
What are you doing? We're podcasting. We are podcasting. We're here live.
That's right.
During the eviction.
We're going to start cleaning up on our way out. We'll be holding the mics on our way to the car.
On the way to the car, we're still rolling.
Listen, nothing will keep the Post Rolls podcast down.
Nothing, right?
No, let's talk about your event.
Yeah, so I've been doing these events called Old Grappler Summit for the over 40 crowd.
Yeah.
And I've done 3 of them down here in San Diego, and they keep getting bigger and bigger.
Oh, they're
and
huge.
bigger.
The crowds are great. The people
Dude.
that come are amazing.
We had a guy from the Netherlands fly out to the last one a few weeks ago, and people
way.
from Florida, from all over the U.S. and Canada come out to him. It just blows my mind. I'm like, who are these people?
But
Why are they coming?
why wouldn't you come to San Diego to
Yeah.
do this stuff, man?
Right,
This is the ultimate vacation spot.
And so, but these have not been all inclusive. They've basically been, a training event. We throw a big party. We have a social gathering, dinner party, and we make it fun and all that. But so far, everyone's had to get their own hotel room and their own meals and all that stuff. So the next one in October is going to be at this gorgeous 240-acre retreat center
That's huge.
out in the mountains near San Diego, about an hour outside of San Diego. Luxury retreat center. I mean, it's amazing. Absolutely amazing. You see go to my website, you can see the aerial footage and all that stuff. Killer. Absolutely killer. Multi-instructor event this time. It's going to be Clark Gracie. It's going to be Roy Dean. It's going to be this guy named Miles Lucas.
Oh, respect. That sounds like a
Miles
great lineup.
Lucas is going to be there. And then I'll be in there kind of as the ringleader doing my thing. I'll be bringing in over 3,000 square feet of mats, which is amazing. Huge matted area we're going to have, and great food, great time. Just amazing. All inclusive, everything included.
We were just talking about that, really. Like, I think that you can, when you have some of the high level instructors and you have them for a decent period, that, man, you can really absorb a lot from them. Like, you could do 5 seminars with Clark Gracie, right? Like at different times, right? But then if he has you for 5 days, man, you can really get, you can keep sort of funneling in the stuff that's going to work for your own game. Mm-hmm. And so I think it's a huge transformation in jiu-jitsu. At least I've had some wild ones at these retreats and stuff. But again, the group of people that this is going to draw is going to be off the charts.
It's going to be off the hook. I can't wait. oldgrapplersummit.com. Go check it out.
Dude, if you don't, I'm going to start a WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
And I promise you that the WhatsApp group that gets started on the first day of this retreat is it'll
go forever.
A decade from now, there's going to be 6 of us left. 2 decades from now, we're going to be in wheelchairs still
yapping it up.
Yeah. No, man, the bonds that you make with this stuff is so true. What are we going to do? Are you going to, do I get to do ice baths there? Should I bring some ice baths?
Bring some ice baths. They have this little area. In fact, I made a little video when I was down there last time. They have this little, like an AstroTurf kind of area where there's
perfect,
like a infrared sauna thing they have there.
Nice.
Or, no, I don't know if it's infrared, but they have a sauna there.
Cool.
And they run some cold plunges there. They've got these little kind of horse troughs, kind of water troughs.
They work,
thing
baby.
There.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many of those they have, but maybe you bring your tubs and we set them up out there.
Sure. Yeah.
Also, there's a huge swimming pool on the compound, but it's not heated. And late October, so this is a Halloween weekend, October weekend. The water's going to be not freezing.
No,
not
how
freezing.
far up is it in the mountains? Like, what's the elevation? Is there some elevation? Because that water is going to be in the 50s. That's going to be a perfect.
And I thought maybe that would be like, it could be 30 people at a time jump in the pool.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. For me, I'm excited.
And that could be the morning ritual. You got to go in, take your dive in the pool, jump out, little morning yoga, little foundation training, whatever. We'll have all kinds of stuff going on.
Do you have a yoga instructor yet? I know some good
ones. I do not. They have the facility has, a team of people they recommend, but
oh man, I know the best one in Southern California.
You do. Okay.
But man,
the girl I forget her name now, who does the grapplers retreat once. Mm-hmm. She was running like a stretch lab kind of thing while I was up there. So good. And she did this kind of restorative after jiu-jitsu yoga that wasn't like real hard yoga, just mellow. You're just opening up and really good. So something like that would be amazing.
Totally. And in fact, Grapplers Retreat in October, I've got Alex has opened it up to not just grappling, but we're doing the breath fitness retreats where we're going to do yoga, ice baths, breath work, and Susan's going to be there.
Oh, nice.
And Shawnee is going to be there. And I'm going to be teaching the breath work and ice bath stuff, and it's going to be just for the general general population. So if you guys think that would be interesting, but you have friends and family that don't do jiu-jitsu, man, then
Mendocino's great. It's such a cute little picturesque town, and
well, yeah, and he nailed.
That's a fun little destination to go to.
It is, and you can. I mean, it's a jog from the retreat center. You can get downtown, get to the areas. You got the river there. You got the ocean. We got that waterfall. There's a waterfall hike that we're going to be doing on ours. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, that's a super cool town. You know what's funny? The last time we went on the waterfall hike, we found the biggest Amanita muscaria mushrooms you'd ever seen. The Super Mario, legitimately psychedelic mushrooms.
Were you eating them?
We didn't eat them. I mean, I think you have to dry them or something. I don't know. But yeah, as we were walking, I mean, the guys, they weren't there on the walk back. We collected them all.
Wow.
But they were gigantic, man. Okay. They're bigger than softballs. All right,
for, ayahuasca retreats and mushroom retreats, a grappler's retreat. Come on, Alex. Well, you want to do it.
This is a little bit extra. But yeah, I was thinking, I don't know if we're going to have it on ours, but there is a lot of those woods there is like healthy, good foraging.
Yeah.
So you could live off of, totally. A lot of the stuff there. So we might even, we haven't talked about it yet, but I wanted to have a forager, a professional person in there to come like help us actually forage for good food there.
If you ever watch that show Alone,
yeah,
it's like some people are amazing, man. They just identify all the plants and they're like, and it's like they're not struggling at all to live. And then other people are just emaciated. They're just like dying.
Totally. I actually absolutely love that show. Mm-hmm. And that was the contrast. My favorite guy on the show, if you guys seen the show Alone, they drop people in Alaska 20 miles apart.
Or Vancouver Island a lot of times.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And so they have to be out there. You're the last person to win the money. It's over. It's like $1 million.
It's whoever taps out last. And you're by yourself. You get dropped into a camp, some area. You got to build your own campground and figure it all out. And there's bears, there's wild animals.
There's a lot of bears,
and it's no joke. It's no joke.
And I think you get a dozen tools or something. You get like some appropriate
you can
gear.
bring like 10 things or a dozen things, and it's interesting because people pick different things. Why'd you bring that knife? Well, I bring this knife because of this. And
it's not naked and afraid. You are not naked, but you are afraid. And so I've watched so many of them. My favorite was this one dude from the hood comes through and he's like, he's not scared of anything. Oh, there are going to be bears out there. He's not worried about it. And then when he gets there, he was like, this is day one. He's a little bit away from his camp and he finds some bear scat. And he was like, oh, bear scat. He was like, this looks about 2 weeks old. And then a few minutes later, they cut to him. He was like, I found a little bit more. This looks about 1 week old. And then a few minutes later, he was like, this is some fresh stuff right here, guys. This is fresh. This is like a day old. And he was like, there's bears right around me. And he hit his button and gave up on day one.
Dude.
He was awesome.
Dude, no, I mean, I won't judge that. Yeah. We're talking about bear scat. You're just in time.
Yeah. Perfect. That's one of my favorite topics. It is hot and sweaty in here, guys.
Just you wait. Just you wait. We're just getting warmed up.
Just wait till Hodger versus or whoever.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we're moving. So I thought it took me a lot longer to get set up. So there's a guy who was coming to look at the place, and I promised my landlord, like, I'd let him in, show him around.
Oh, okay.
So
that's funny.
Okay.
Should we close the door? Does it matter?
No, it doesn't matter too much. It's up to you guys. Oh. Okay. So
professional operation we got here.
Did we ever finish? Marcelo beat out Buchecha.
Yeah, he did. Take that, Buchecha.
Okay, so we got Mikey. Oh no, we were on Mikey versus Hoffa.
Mikey versus Hoffa. Yeah, that's it.
God, I already know who's going to win. You guys, you fanboys.
I'm going to have to go with the modern player.
Yeah, Mikey.
I mean, not that Hoffa's not keeping up, but I don't know.
They have a
Have you watched like modern, like recent footage of Hoffa like training and stuff? Mm-mm. I mean, it's all in the gi, but man, he does some crazy
his transitions
stuff.
are so
insane,
incredible.
And it's still like, I mean, he's still young.
Yeah,
not in competition years, but I don't know how old he is. Mid-30s.
Mid-30s.
Just guessing by looking at him.
Yeah.
Still so athletic.
Oh, incredible! Absolutely incredible.
Is he retired from competition?
For the most part, they make so much money at their gym, man. Yeah, dude, so much money.
It's tough to get out of the bed in the morning when your sheets are
I heard they're running
guys got like 11 kids.
And they're running like a homeschool program so that they can get all the kids in their hours every day to groom that next generation of competitors.
They have like more or less like a charter school, and then they bring, this is all hearsay, I don't know how much this is true, but I hear like they they find like promising kids from Brazil, and they're like, hey,
Yeah.
you talk to their parents, like, you want kids to come to America? Like, we'll get them a, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Whoa.
and they like breed their kids team, not
Like-
breed them, but like, you know,
Like the
scout them.
Dagestan team was telling Mike Cormier to just send your kid over for 2 years.
Yeah, he tells the Brazilian parents, like, send 2-3 years to Costa Mesa, forget.
You would be a phenom.
Yeah. Okay, who's
Who's up next?
no, we didn't vote.
Oh,
Who wins?
I-
Hoffa versus Mikey.
the new school.
I give it to Mikey by just a hair.
Yeah. Who knows?
I'm gonna actually vote for Hoffa,
Okay. Just to make it a.
but
That's pretty good, man.
He's really good. I don't.
Now I'm changing my vote.
not only is he good, but like his like he's really like a full package. Like, the
Yeah.
mental toughness is there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a finisher. He's like
Yeah.
his guard passing game in particular does make it a little bit harder to attach to leg locks. He's such an outside passer.
And Mikey he's got a weak diaphragm. So I'm going to go with.
Yeah?
Yeah, he tore his diaphragm doing Hickson's belly exercises.
Oh
is what
man,
he said.
seriously?
So
is that a thing?
I mean, not for me.
I breathe too hard.
Yeah, I'm going with Hoffa too.
Okay.
Sorry,
Oh,
Mikey.
nice. I turned the table.
Miles,
Yeah, you did.
How long did it take you when you said, I want to wiggle my belly like Hickson
Yeah.
to actually be able to do it? And what did that training look like?
Oh, thanks for asking. So there's a few steps involved. But yeah, developing the easy steps of like the initial vacuum, and then what I've learned now, because I had to go back and figure out what I learned and how I did it. But the deep front line, you got this fascial tissue that sort of connects all the way through, and if you learn how to connect,
I'll give you some fascial tissue in your deep front line.
Oh my God! I'm trying to put together a good commercial here. But that was a really good one. That was filthy. That was filthy. I'm slightly aroused from that. That was ridiculous.
So is that like 6 months of work, a year of work?
Yeah.
And were you doing it daily?
So I would.
I'm just trying to figure out if I can learn to do this in like a week.
So I would say that it takes, according to my new course that I just launched about about developing that, I would say that you need about 8 weeks before you can start to see the results.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would say it takes 6 months to become truly proficient.
And I assume you have to be relatively low body fat, or you're not going to see that. Like you're
You're not going to see it, but you're still going to feel it. So the big, really honest benefits of it is creating that vacuum. You're going to feel some discomfort, probably in your organs, in your midsection, and then you use it a little bit, and now you can remove that discomfort. So whatever's going on in there, it just takes 30 seconds to sort of isolate it, and then give it a gentle massage, and then all of a sudden, man, your core feels super good.
Yeah.
But man, your digestion too. Not everybody. I think one of the biggest plagues of us as humans is that we don't get empty. I think that if you follow General Mills and you follow the food pyramid, 3 meals a day, you're never empty.
You're never empty.
So, using Nali Kriya is like the Jiu-Jitsu term, but I always called it Hickson Gracie stomach exercises, which just gives me so much hate on YouTube, which is hilarious. All the yogis are like, that's 4,000 years old. I'm like, does somebody need credit? Send me his Instagram. I'll tag him.
What do you want me to tag?
They get so mad. It's so weird. I have the most hate on my YouTube is from yogis. I'm like, wait a minute.
Aren't you guys supposed to be peaceful folk?
Right. They're like, no.
Do you still fast?
I do. I did a 5-day fast a few weeks ago.
How'd that go?
It went great, other than I didn't do any electrolytes. All I did was water, and I quit drinking coffee partially through it because when I fast more than a couple days, my body rejects coffee. Like it
Really?
It's like
It's too acidic.
like it's gross. It seems gross to me. Like my body just says, do not put that in your body. That's
Cool.
just disgusting. Don't do it.
Fascinating.
It's a weird thing. So
Yeah.
I actually quit drinking. I'm back to it, because I'm an addict.
Yeah.
But
it's amazing.
what I didn't do, I normally would do salt, some electrolytes.
Yeah, why didn't you do that?
I just wasn't feeling it.
weren't feeling it.
I was just like,
Your
I'm
body's
just
telling you
water
no.
only. I'm just going to drink water for 5 days. So I get to the morning of day 5. I was going to need to make it for a full, whatever it was, 120 hours or whatever it was. I needed
Okay.
to make it to that evening.
Okay.
And I was just starting to crash a little bit.
On day 5?
On day 5. I think my electrolytes got a little low, and I was just feeling off and kind of bad. And like, you know, you go through, and I was training through it. I was working out.
that's crazy.
I was working out.
I didn't realize you were doing
Oh,
that.
dude, you have abundant energy. Once you're fully ketogenic, your
Yeah.
body's just living off its own fat.
Totally.
So that's not a problem. But I think it was probably an electrolyte issue or something. So,
God, how did you feel after you trained?
Dude, I
like-
feel great.
Really?
Feel
need,
great.
like,
no problem at all.
protein?
Wow.
No problem at all. No, absolutely no. Once you shift fully into ketosis,
Yeah.
your body is literally living off of your fat. You got
Yeah.
plenty of fat.
Yeah. All of us. For
And
sure.
that's all you need. And the other thing is, it takes energy to digest food. You
Yeah,
know,
true.
we don't think about that. You put something in your
Yeah.
gut, there's a lot of energy requirements to that.
Totally.
You eliminate the food out of that equation, your gut's doing nothing but repairing itself.
Wow,
Then
I
you
never
have
thought of
all
that.
of this energy
Yeah.
that is just generally systemically available.
I
and
love
so I
eating-
find that I'm way more energetic when I'm fasted.
That's super cool. You know what fasting taught me was that
What?
it taught me that I have a friend, a neighbor. I have a neighbor. I'll break an egg on your knee. You ever done that? That fasted 40 days, and which is crazy. And you could tell, you could see it in his body and stuff.
That's intense.
And he said because he went through a liver cleanse, and he was like, oh man, I'm just going to keep this up. Like he didn't have any goals, but I would see him every morning at sunrise. He'd have his feet in the grass, and he'd be staring at the sun. And I'm like, this weirdo out here, what is he doing? And he told me later, he was like, man, because energy was so sparse for him.
Yeah.
So he wasn't working out through it. He was taking it super, super easy. But he said he could feel, he would get energized
From the sun, yeah.
from grounding in the sun.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, that's really cool. People talk about that it can be a source of energy.
Yeah.
And there's literally the breatharians. There is a group of people that, some of them might say that they don't eat, that they live off of the
Supposedly,
available energy.
I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah.
I sent you that guy on Instagram, right? That eats like every.
Oh,
he,
yeah.
He says he doesn't plan it. He doesn't go like specifically 21 days, but that's about how long he just roughly
wild.
eats every 20-ish days.
Wow.
But don't look at it. He doesn't look good.
No, he doesn't
Yeah.
look. He looks unhealthy. But
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there's something. But
No,
there's
I do
something
it-
out there we don't know.
I do it as a reset
Yeah.
because you get all these physiological benefits from doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Your body goes into autophagy, which is cellular repair. All the dead cells, the unhealthy cells, they get consumed. Your body's like, what am I going to eat today? Oh, there's some cells there that aren't doing anything productive. I'm going to eat that.
Let's eat those dead cells over there.
And so that was
totally, yeah. And so it's super healthy. All the cancer cells, all that shit gets eaten.
how long ago was that?
A few weeks ago.
Because you look really good, by the way.
I've been working out,
you
man. I'm
look
trying to
yeah.
get stronger. I'm trying to
Yeah.
gain some muscle mass, as much as that's hard when you're an old fart like me.
Man, but getting empty, killing the dead cells.
Yeah.
That's
You get a testosterone surge, you get a growth hormone surge. The microbiome in your stomach repairs itself because
Yeah.
you're right. You're
Yeah.
constantly putting food into this cauldron of acid,
Yeah.
and it finally gives it a chance to stop having to do anything. And so the microbiome improves, your gut improves.
so it's massively important what you start back with. So what was your what did you get back in your microbiome?
So I always break my fast with a big cup of bone broth.
Okay.
And I'll make it real salty. I'll put in a lot of good,
Oh, I bet
like
it's good.
Celtic sea salt or pink Himalayan or some good quality salt that gives you minerals. And then after that, I'll eat some scrambled eggs and avocado.
Okay,
So that's
okay.
kind of my
That's pretty
fast break.
good.
Just mellow, some fats and
any fermented foods? I heard fermented foods is good to start with.
yeah, supposedly that's good.
Yeah.
All that stuff's really good.
Hey, two things. Your mic is drooping.
That's what she said.
No.
Oh, my God.
Miles's.
No, it's
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
but I'm
Well,
not
Miles
touching
is
it.
getting old. Of course, his mic's going to
And you guys want to finish this?
Yeah,
We're
we
running low
got
on time.
sidetracked.
So, semifinals match. We have Hodger versus Marcelo.
Oh no! I was hoping they'd be in the final.
That's a hard one.
Wow.
No way.
Wow.
That's brutal. And you're adjusting
What,
for size.
what are your first thoughts? What's your initial reaction?
Oh my God, Marcelo's going to butterfly
Well,
sweep him.
yeah, I mean,
but he's got
Marcelo-
a super good close guard.
You know, it's interesting because Marcelo lives in the in-between game.
Yeah, good point.
And Hodger doesn't. Hodger's more about establishing that position and incrementing to the next position.
Yeah.
Whereas Marcelo's happy to just camp out in essentially a
Chaos.
Chaos. Like an
That's
extended.
very true.
And so that's an interesting question right there.
Where would the match take
Where
place?
would the match take
in the
place?
in-between or
In the
in Hodger's
in-between.
close guard?
Right, right. And if
Yeah.
they're the same size, I mean, Marcelo and Hodger fought. There's matches.
Oh, really?
And
Yeah.
Hodger's so much bigger and heavier.
Yeah.
He had, 30, 40 pounds on him.
I didn't know they had matches.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I think you equalize that, and that all of a sudden makes Marcelo way more effective against Hodger.
Were there all the matches in the gi?
I believe so, yeah. And Hodger tapped him, if I recall.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Which doesn't surprise me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Marcelo
no.
couldn't beat
But it
him.
wasn't a gimme. It was, took some work.
Hodger has MMA fights, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, he did.
yeah.
His Strike
lost
Force
one,
fights
but
or
he,
something like
but he
that?
won a bunch.
He
Yeah.
he won a few, and then he got exposed for his.
What did he get exposed for? What do you mean?
Well, MMA rewards athleticism.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have that dynamic, explosive style. He's a gi player who's incremental. And that kind of incremental approach just doesn't work in MMA very well.
I mean,
and
one
so
of the
his
things-
and so his I don't think his game really translated very well. His incredible jiu-jitsu didn't quite translate to MMA the way that,
Damn it.
One of the things that people like I don't realize that I talk about a lot is that no gi jiu-jitsu versus shirtless, like just tight shorts and no shirt,
Yeah.
is equally different.
Oh, wow.
As no
Yeah.
gi to gi is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like bare chest to chest is
Slippery.
so sweaty.
Yeah.
And
so
delicious.
sweaty.
Yeah.
Yes. It sounds like this.
like a good bowl of spaghetti, just whipping it up.
Just stir in the mayonnaise jar.
I trained at this 10th Planet gym in San Francisco years ago. I forget the name of is it
Oh,
one of Eddie's guys, real accomplished.
It's in a,
Danny Prokopis.
Denny's place.
Have you
yeah.
seen him recently? Let me get off topic. Continue.
it's
No,
in a
man.
building though with two mats rolled out straight through the. It's
like a house, right?
You remember that?
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
And I remember it was literally a lake.
Yes.
By the end of that
It's
training
just-
session,
Yeah.
literally, I have never slipped more in my life than on those mats. We were just, it was like slip and slide.
I told him it's like wrestling in a soapy bathtub
Yeah.
in that place.
Yeah.
We talked about it several times.
They only had two mats that they rolled completely out through like an old house in
Yeah.
San Francisco, and they taped the mat in the center, and you'd slip up on the wall and you'd slip to the side, and you had to put your feet in a cat box to go in and out of the the bathroom.
Denny Prokopis is unfortunately like completely fucking nuts now.
Yeah, he's a
Oh, is he?
little,
Yeah,
little
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
No, 10 Planet will do that to you.
I think he had the word of the street is he had like a little too much of some drug experiment and then like was never the same.
Ayahuasca.
Little
sent him.
psychotic break or something.
Yeah. All right. So how'd you verse Marcelo?
Oh, man.
No gi in size
No
isn't a
gi.
factor.
Okay, that's a factor too. Marcelo, I think. Well,
Dude, your mic's gonna fall down. Want to tighten it?
Well, I haven't touched it.
I know, but we went through this so many times. It falls. That's why we put it over there on that side.
Okay.
You gotta tighten it.
Okay.
Keep going. Sorry.
I'm just listening to you guys bicker like an old gay married couple.
Our preferred
Nick's the
term
gay
is
one.
heterosexual life partners.
Right.
That's our preferred term.
There.
I personally, Marcelo was my guy. I loved Marcelo. He was when I saw him in ADCC as a brown belt,
Yeah.
just emerged like instant mega fan.
Was he brown belt or when
He was a
when
brown
came
belt.
out of
Yeah,
ACC? Wow.
he was a brown belt.
I mean, I vote Marcelo, and I think you made mostly because the points you made based on like Hodger's game being very like incremental, the next step and the next step.
Right.
However, actually, let me counter myself because I would say that like that's kind of Gordon's game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
A
it's
lot
very
of
much
his
like one thing, then the next
The
thing.
next, yeah.
But it's also a lot of Gordon too is predicated on like ultra long time limits.
Yeah.
And then like him
Kinda
just
grinds-
wearing you
kinda
out
grinds
first.
you down.
Yeah.
Very tight transitions to the next thing where he's crushing you for a while.
I think on top, Hodger could probably still play that game, but on the bottom he couldn't. You know what I mean? Obviously, there's no collar chokes, but like, what's Hodger's like what's his like top sweeps? What's his sweeping game like? Does he sweep much? Or
His
does he,
sweeping game is off balancing you. So
it's like flower sweeps and stuff,
Yeah.
right? That's like,
so
I've seen him hit butterfly sweeps and that sort of thing.
yeah,
my game is mostly Hodger and Marcelo.
yeah.
So when I was coming up and getting to my black belt, I got both of their online schools. And I would go through both of their online schools and I would take notes and I would bring that to class. I would bring my own notes. That's what I was going to do. And I would say that Hodger's approach was more digestible from a video because it was shorter and it was I could apply it right away. Where Marcelo Garcia's, I had to practice it a bunch to get to it. And I had to really dive in. His videos were 15 minutes and Hodger's were 2 minutes.
Yeah.
That was the big difference.
I mean, that's like Marcelo's game. You can kind of tell Marcelo's one of those people that learned his game through just like a shitload of rolling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
for
And so
sure.
like when he explains things, it's very much like it could be this or it could be this, or like you have this option, and there's like kind of more nuance to his sweeps where you could explain. There's one particular Marcelo sweep that I like a lot, and I can explain to you the steps, but that doesn't necessarily mean you could do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't mean you, but I mean like if I teach someone, you know what I mean, the sweep, that it's not, there's feel to it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, of course. There's nuance in all this stuff we do. It's just,
But a lot in like Marcelo's game.
Yeah.
Like north-south choke is a great example. Like I cannot north-south choke anyone.
really?
Nobody.
Dude, that's a staple in my game.
Really? I cannot make it work.
It's not one of my top highest percentage chokes, but I do end up there because a lot of times people hide that arm or they're weaving through for the ghost or whatever, and that neck. And
Well, you have to explain to me because I'm missing something.
you know what
so
changes
nuanced.
what
Yeah.
changed
Me
it
too,
for
I'm
me.
the same.
So I used to just get around and just try to grab my hand and just try to crank it.
Just do an
try to
upside down
crank it.
guillotine.
But upside down guillotine, exactly right. But what I realized is what makes it work is having an open neck versus a closed neck. And everybody, bears down on that neck, or they'll try turning into you. And so you don't quite have it. And so these days what I do is when I go into it, my first goal is to use my rib cage against that face, make sure that face is turned away. If it doesn't turn away, then I'm going to readjust and try to reset and try to make that work. But then what I do, instead of just grabbing my hand and trying to crank, I put that hand on the shoulder and I push myself away to try to stretch that neck open.
you slide up.
And I slide up on it. And that becomes the next kind of micro game within the finishing sequence. It's first is getting the face away, second is getting the neck open, third, and then as a final step, maybe I'll come here. A lot of times I don't even need to do that if you're pushing enough on the shoulder and you just keep cranking down on that.
So I'm going to give a case for Hodger just because you guys are both Marcelo Garcia fanboys.
Yeah.
But I've never trained with Marcelo Garcia, but Hodger has these really simplistic steps that for some reason are not taught anywhere else. And so I think that he would be able to overcome what a bigger Marcelo Garcia could do, because he could apply these things that just these simple changes that I swear they're not taught anywhere. It's almost like Hicks in Invisible Jiu-Jitsu. He does these changes. And he's my boy, so shout out to Hodger.
No, I
respect.
I mean, I don't. I'm not going to argue. I mean, this is his fantasy.
Yeah, for sure. But a big Marcelo is kind of spooky.
It's kind of, like you were saying, like
Or a small Hodger is kind of interesting.
Yeah. He I don't want to say he relies on his size, but
that helps. That's a part.
his
That's
game
how to
to his
apply
size.
his size.
Again, your attributes determine what game you're ultimately going to have.
yeah.
I'm going with Hodger.
But also
This
go
one.
with Marcelo.
Okay, fair enough.
If it was in the gi, I would go with Hodger 800.
Oh, but it's not in the gi.
800%.
And it's a big Marcelo.
Yeah.
Man, I'm the tiebreaker again. I hate this pressure.
God, I know.
You're going to get all the hate. All the hate.
It's Nick's problem right here, guys.
Who doesn't he like?
He did this. He's never even watched
Undergo
any
Val,
of
it's
these.
Nick's fault.
He was watching Animaniacs when these
Gordon Ryan,
were
it's
coming
Nick's
out.
fault.
When I was like supposed to be in college, I was just like in the library watching Marcelo videos.
They're so good.
And now I don't have a degree.
And yet you're a professor.
Let's let the uneducated Nick give the final decision.
Fuck.
You got to come up with something.
I'm
my
going to
boy.
pick Marcelo.
I knew you would. All right. Marcelo Garcia pushes through even though Hodger beat him twice.
In the gi, he
Yeah,
beat
but
him.
he was bigger than him.
Yeah,
In the gi, and he was way bigger. That's,
This is not
Respect, Hodger.
yeah.
I got you, dog.
Okay, in our finals, this is a great matchup. Did this match happen already?
What?
In real life? Hoffa versus Marcella?
Oh man, Hoffa passed Mikey. Did he?
Yeah.
I thought I would vote for
we
Mikey.
voted, you did, and then we voted for Hoffa.
yeah.
Hoffa Mendez. I want to see if because if this
No,
happened, then we
there's
have
no way.
we have no.
This didn't happen.
Yeah, I don't recall it.
That'd be sick. Marcelo, he quit too early, but he's back now. That's pretty fun. I'm super excited
No,
to
it
see
didn't
him.
happen. There is a. Oh, this would be fun to. There's a Reddit thread of this
those
exact
two?
situation.
Whoa.
Hoffa Mendez versus Prime Marcelo Garcia. No gi. Who wins?
Oh my god!
Do you want?
Did
Should
you
we
plan
decide?
this?
Should we make our votes first, or should you guys want to hear what the Reddit thread says?
So is that what it is? It's Hoffa Marcella?
Yeah.
You can't shut Marcelo down, as far as I'm concerned. He would adapt and overcome.
Yeah.
And how would he get him?
Top comment. Reddit is great. Top comment depends on what hairstyle Hoffa has. Comb over Rafa is the goat.
No way. Marcel Garcia would because of his focus on transitions. But God, Hoffa is too.
Fuck, Hoffa's transition are legitimately crazy.
I know.
Oh, man.
And then
I'm
we're
still
gonna have
going
to
Marcelo.
end it right here because this next person is here to check out the house.
Oh,
and we're running away.
What?
With it.
Rick and I can
Okay,
go.
okay,
Babysit.
okay. I see what you're doing here. It's okay. It's
What?
okay.
We're
I
doing
know- I
this
know
like an
what
hour
I'm-
and a half in.
I
I gotta
know-
edit
I
all
know-
this.
Wait, you don't have a guy in the Philippines doing your editing? Bro,
I have a young Mexican teenager, but I still gotta pay him.
I'm talking about video editing.
No, yeah, me too. That's what I'm talking about too.
Hook him up after. Who your Philippine guys?
Okay. So, you guys want to hear what Reddit thinks first, or do you want to cast your
There's
vote?
no way I'm going against Marcelo.
Marcelo versus Hoffa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's an emotional decision. I got to root for Marcella.
Okay. What'd they say?
I mean, let me just say,
Hoffa fanboys.
I vote Marcelo.
Okay. All right. There we go.
Okay.
Done. That's the only one we all agreed on.
This is comb over Hoffa is the growth. That is true.
That's hilarious.
Because when Hoffa first came on the scene, he didn't have enough money for a haircut, and he just had this fucking helmet hair,
Yeah,
just fucking
yeah.
poofed out. All right, if it's ADCC finals rules, no guard pulling with a -1 the entire time, then Marcelo for sure. If it's non-finals where Hoffa could pull guard in the first half, then he has a better shot. That's a good point.
That is a good point.
If Hoffa could pull guard?
If Hoffa could pull, yeah, because they're making the case that doesn't make a whole lot of sense though.
You know what was impressive? Clark Gracie versus Hoffa in Metamoris. It was a stalemate, but that was when Hoffa was just killing everybody. He was on fire.
Yeah.
And Clark managed to shut down that whole Barambola game.
Really?
And it's really impressive to watch. And we
Wow.
tried finding it the other day. When we were at Grappler's Retreat, we were looking for content. And they've scrubbed that. You can't find that anymore.
Really?
But it was so good if you ever get a chance to see it. It was
Wow,
really
cool.
The
impressive.
video was probably repossessed by the IRS.
all the creditors it's being sold in a pawn shop for a little cash to pay the creditors.
Marcelo Nogi for sure at this time. I don't know. Marcelo, yeah. So this guy's making the point that if Hoffa could pull guard and get to his guard game, but that doesn't make a whole lot of sense because
who beat Marcel Garcia handily, could do good
in
could take him.
ADCC
Yeah. Do you
at his
remember?
weight class, nobody.
Nobody.
Well,
Right.
his
That's what I'm saying.
his first breakout year, he got bronze. I don't remember who beat him, but he has a 1 bronze, and apparently I didn't know he was a brown belt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then 2 golds, 3 golds. How many Marcelo Garcia?
I think he adapts, but focusing on that game in the middle is the best thing you can do.
I mean, Hoffa thrives in that middle too, man.
Yeah.
That's true, but he thrives in the middle if
4
he's on
time.
top.
He has 4 gold medals in ADCC.
Who?
Marcelo.
I mean, I think Hoffa's is he passes your guard and then repasses it a few times
Yeah.
just to show that he's the man.
You ever seen that video where Hoffa, it's in the Asian championships, the Asian
think
Opens,
so.
whatever, and he's
Yeah.
just he passes this guy's guard like 32 times before he ever actually scores points. He just gets to side mount and he goes back and he passes, go back and he passes and he's just like, nah, I'm not done yet. I'm still passing.
just to toy with him or what?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what his motivation is, but he certainly toyed with him. Yeah.
So
it was
funny.
amazing. He was like doing like 360 spins past this guy's guard.
Oh man, I'll have to watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marcelo fought Terere. Go
Did he?
nerd out.
How'd that go?
I think Terere won.
Really? Respect.
I think
That was
but
a young Marcelo.
Yeah, young Marcelo.
Wow,
Young Terere.
fun.
Yeah, it's worth going and watching his.
Yeah.
Super dynamic.
Okay, so we've established then Hoffa is the world champion of
Wait,
the Post Rolls podcast.
you guys
I mean, no,
went with
sorry.
Jesus.
Overruled, guys. Hoffa.
What is going on?
Marcelo, I thought Marcelo. I said Hoffa.
Okay.
Marcelo Garcia is the Post Rolls podcast champion
Respect.
of the world.
He's the goat.
Yeah.
Did it.
Nice.
Nice work.
I'm glad.
Marcelo's
My heart
back.
is happy that's
Yeah.
that's the result. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, you can make a case for any of those guys, really,
Of course.
when it comes down to it. But
Yeah. I can't believe Gordon got knocked out round one. People are going to be so upset. of the 50 people that watch this episode, 30 of them are going to be livid.
cancel.
That was fun.
So
MMA next.
Yeah, we'll do an MMA one. That'd be cool. All right, guys, if you made it this far, thanks for listening. We appreciate you. Check out Rick's channel, Art of Skill, if you're not subscribed already.
Art of Skill on YouTube. OldGrapplerSummit.com for the retreats I do. Or you can go to Linktree/Rick Ellis, and everything I do is up there.
Rick has an amazing grapplers retreat in Julian, near Julian.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
When is that?
It's in October, end of October.
Nice. End of October. Cool.
We talked about it a little bit while you were getting evicted.
Oh, okay, nice. I was not getting evicted. I'm voluntarily moving out.
Okay, we okay, sure, we'll go with that.
This podcast isn't paying the bills, guys.
Tune in then, guys. Subscribe.
Subscribe so my family doesn't end up on the street, please.
Donkey punch that alert bell.
It's going to live up to the fact that it's called Post Rolls because you guys are rolling in a truck across the country doing your episodes.
All right. Thank you, guys. It's been a good time. Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys in the next one.